Hello everyone, welcome to my kitchen. My name is Michael, and today I thought we'd do something a little different. I thought I would show you how to make something special for breakfast. You can either use this for brunch if you've got some friends coming over, if you're going to be hosting a party or something and it's going to be friends and family are coming in, just whatever you want to use it for. If you want to cook it for yourself on the weekend, this makes one or as many as you want to make. So let's start out. I'm going to show you what these little bowls are that I've got here. I've got these little bowls, these little mini pie bowls, that you might want to call them that. This is a Emile Henry pie bowl that I've got here, and I've got 4 of these. You can definitely use whatever you've got. You can use the little metal ones like you get in the pot pies that you get in the stores. You can definitely get those online. If you've got the little ramekins, you can definitely use one of these also. You want something that we're going to be able to put everything in. So I've got the little bowls here that we'll be using today, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with those as we get started. So what we're going to use to start with our breakfast bowl, I'll call it that, is we're going to use these flour tortillas that I've got here. And these are about 6-inch flour tortillas, and you can get these in the store, or if you want to make them from scratch, you can definitely make your own. Those are the best ones you can possibly get. But these are just the regular flour tortillas. I've done nothing to them as of yet. And we're going to be putting those into our bowl and putting our other ingredients in it. So this is some of the things that I've got that I had in my refrigerator. I've got some onions. I've got some spinach that I've got here. I cooked some extra bacon that I've got over here on the side. If you've got sausage, you can do that. If you've got ground chicken, you can definitely put that in it, or whatever you want to put in it. It's completely up to you. Broccoli would be good in it. It's just kind of a mini quiche, if you want to call it that. But we're going to be using these flour tortillas as our liner for our bowls here. So let's go ahead and get started on our bowls. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my little stove on here. And I have my spinach that I've given a good little rinse to. And I'm just going to wilt that down. And we're going to do that right now. So I'm going to put some butter in the bottom of my pan. And while that's heating up, because that's not going to take very long at all to do that, I'm going to go ahead and slice up some onions. And if you don't like onions, you can definitely leave this out. I'm going to actually cook these a little bit to kind of take that raw edge off of them. So these will be cooked in a little bit of butter. So if you don't like raw onions, this is definitely a way to use those. And I will just take that little bit of that outer skin off of them. And we're going to give these a dice. All right, now that I've got my onions chopped up now, I've got my butter melted, I'm going to go ahead and put my spinach in now. All we're going to do with this is just wilt it down. You can use as much of this as you like. Typically, if I'm making 1 or 2 of these or 3, however you want to make, you're just going to want to take a small handful, because when you wilt this down, it will disappear. So definitely, if you don't think you've got enough of it, then put a little bit more in it. If you don't like spinach, you can definitely leave this out. I just like that little bit of green, and anytime you can get any of those extra vitamins and things in your meals, this is a perfect opportunity to do that. So we're just going to wilt this down, and I'll show you what it looks like when it gets done. All right, I've got my spinach wilted now, and I've got a little bowl here that I'm going to put that in. So I'm going to transfer that out of this, and then we're going to get ready to cook our onions as well. So just transfer this into a bowl. We want everything ready to go, because this is going to go really quickly once we get everything put together. All right, now that we've got our butter melted, let's go ahead and put our onions in, and we're going to cook those. We don't really want to brown them that much. We just want to kind of cook them a little bit to get them a little tender, because they're going to continue to bake in the oven a little bit more. We just want to take that little bit of that raw edge off of them that, typically onions have. So if you don't like raw onions, this is the way to do that. Cook them a little bit, and it'll take a little bit of that edge off of it. So we're just going to kind of stir these around for about a minute or 2 till they get cooked a little bit. Now that we've got our onions cooked, I'm going to transfer those into a little bowl, and we'll get up a little station set up. This is what's so nice about this. If you're having friends or family over, or you're setting this up, you can actually set this up, and then the individual bowls, whatever people like, you can definitely put in what they like in them, and that way they can individualize these the way that they like them. So definitely this is very forgiving. This will be the basis of anything that you want to try for these. And so we've got our onions cooked now. All right, now let's get ready to prepare our bowls. So I'm going to pull one of the bowls up here, and I'm going to put just a little bit of spray in it. You don't have to if you don't want to. These are pretty forgiving that they will come out of there. But if you get some of the cheese on the side, it might be a little bit where it might not want to come off of it. So definitely give those a little spray. All right, so we've got one of our tortillas here now. You can definitely, if these need to be softened up a little bit, you can put them in the microwave or pop them into your skillet here. That'll warm them up too. Just pop them in just like that, and that'll heat them up just a little bit, and that will soften them up on both sides. So however you want to do that, it's completely up to you. And then you're just going to take it, see it kind of fits right around the top of the bowl itself there, and we're just going to kind of push it in just like that. And then where these little creases are, I'm just going to kind of fold it down so that it forms into the bottom of that bowl shape that we've got there. So that couldn't be any easier than that. Now I've got some melted butter. We want a little bit of flavor on the inside of our tortillas. I love eating the tortillas themselves with this butter on them, so I'll put them in a skillet and warm them up, and then I'll brush butter on the inside of them. Absolutely delicious. If you've never had them that way, that's something that you definitely want to try. That'd be great for breakfast if you had some of these left over and you just wanted to use something. You can use that in lieu of toast or biscuits and things to heat you up some of these tortillas, and they will be absolutely delicious for your breakfast. All right, now that we've got our bowl ready to go, now let's go ahead and get our egg mixture together. I'm going to be making 3 of these tonight, so we're just going to take 3 eggs and I'm going to pop them into this bowl. Now that I've got my eggs in the bowl here, I'm going to take just a little bit of heavy cream and put it in about a tablespoon per egg. So about 3 tablespoons is what I'm going to put into this. And we'll put that into the bowl just like that. I'm not going to measure it, just kind of eyeball it a little bit. And then I'm going to put some salt and some pepper in it. And then I'm going to whisk that through. All right, now that we've got our eggs ready to go, I've got all of my bowls here now ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and do one of these. I'm going to start with some spinach on the bottom of each one of them. So I'm just going to put just a little bit on the bottom of each one of them. All right, now that we've got the spinach on the bottom of our little bowls here, we're going to go ahead now and add some onions to each one of them. And again, this is what's so nice about this. If you got individuals that don't like onions, you can definitely leave those out and make them as people like them. All right, now we've got our eggs here. So as I said earlier, with each one of these bowls, I put about 1 egg in each one of them. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer this, and we're going to distribute this out over the size of 3 of these. All right, so now let's add some of that bacon that I had cooked earlier. So again, if you don't have bacon, you can leave this part of it out. If you've got some sausage that you want to put in it, or chicken, whatever you like, just to put it in there. Ham would be good, some cooked ham. Now that I've got my bacon in, let's put some grated cheese on the top. I've got some sharp cheddar cheese that I just grated up. This is so much better than what you get in the bag. The bag stuff is going to have a product on it that they put in on there to keep it from sticking together. And it also kind of, I think, keeps it from wanting to melt down as easily. So definitely, if you've got the opportunity and you've got the time, definitely grate your own cheese. It is so much better than the bag cheese that you can get when you're cooking with it. All right, we've got our cheese now. I'm just going to transfer these to a baking tray. That way it's easier for them to sit in the oven. And I'm going to put them in my 400-degree oven that I've got preheated for about 20 minutes. And what we want to do now is we want the cheese on the top to melt, and we want the egg to cook through for it to set. You'll be able to tell as it's cooking if you shake the bowl. If you pull it out at about 10 or 15 minutes, you can definitely tell if the egg is set. You'll see it wobble on the inside of it. So mine takes 20 minutes in my oven at 400. Everybody's oven is going to cook a little bit differently, so keep a watch on it. After about 10 minutes, I'm going to come in and turn the tray around halfway. That way I get an even cook on these, and I'll show you when we get back what these look like. Stick with me. I am back, and it's been 20 minutes, and my breakfast bowls are ready to go. Just pull them out of the oven. They did take 20 minutes, so definitely keep a watch on yours. You just want these to brown a little bit, and you want the eggs to cook and that cheese to melt on the top. So you can see here that these will come out of these bowls really nicely just by putting that little bit of spray on the bottom of them. I have done it where I didn't put the spray on it, and if the cheese on the sides melts a little bit and sticks to the side, it might be a little bit hard to get off. So definitely, if you got the spray, it doesn't hurt it. It'll add just a little bit more flavor to the bottom of it. I'm going to let these cool down for a few minutes, and we'll come back and we'll give these a taste test. Stick with me. I am back, and my bowls here have cooled down just a little bit. These are going to be fantastic. I know you can use these for anything as your main dish, and just look how easy that is. It's going to come out of that bowl. I'm going to put this on this little saucer, and we're going to give it a test. You can use these as a main course for your breakfast. If you want to make some hash browns, you can definitely cook those. If you want to put some grits, you can definitely make a bowl of grits and have with those. You can definitely also have this with some fried potatoes and some fresh fruit. Definitely cut you up some fresh fruit and put that on your plate. and you will have a fantastic looking breakfast. And I know that will impress your family or your friends or however you're going to have this. So let's cut into this and I'll show you what this looks like. I definitely wanted to show you what that looks like, how that baked into that very nicely. And I've got me a spoonful of it and a little bit of that shell, and I can see some steam coming off of it, so I know it's going to be hot. So we're going to give it a test, and I'll tell you what this tastes like. That is absolutely delicious. I know you're going to love this recipe. And I've got some parsley here too. You can definitely put a little bit of parsley on the top of it to add a little bit of color to it, to bring out that extra little bit for the dish. I've made some extra ones here. You can definitely make them ahead of time, and you can actually freeze these. Just put them in the freezer, put them in an airtight container, and when you want them, pull them out, and you've got them ready to go. So definitely you've got all kind of options you can do here with them. Anything you want to put in it, it's up to you what you want in it. Whatever you've got in your fridge, that's what you put in it today. And if you like this content, maybe you might consider giving me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And check out one of these other two videos over here on the side. You might find something else you like. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave me a comment. I want to know how yours turned out. Or if you do something a little different than I did today, definitely leave me a comment. I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye now. I'm going to finish off my breakfast bowl. It's delicious.